So come on, let it go. Just let it be. Why don't you be you?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have created this highlight and contour video for you guys. I had a lot of fun highlighting and contouring my face just because it's one of the things that I love to do. I did use high-end products, but I have a lot of drugstore dupes for you guys. So if you'd like to see how I highlighted and contoured my face, then please keep watching. I've already started moisturizing my face, and I used the First Aid Beauty, and this is the moisturizer. To prime my face, I'm going to be using something different today, and that is the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm. This is actually a great item to prime your face with. This has glycerin in it, and glycerin makes things stick onto your face. So when you put this on your face and then you put products on your face, the products are sticking to your face because of the glycerin that's in this. For highlighting and contouring, I will be using two different beauty blenders. This is the Beauty Blender by Beauty Blender, and this is the Real Techniques Beauty Blender. The reason that I like using two different beauty blenders is honestly just because I like this tip on the Beauty Blender when it comes to setting the concealer under your eyes, and I like this very defined edge on the Real Techniques Beauty Blender when it comes to creating that line that I want on my cheeks. So that's the only reason that I use two different beauty blenders. It has nothing to do with price, although the Beauty Blender is about $20 and the Real Techniques Beauty Blender I believe is like $6. For foundation, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm a huge fan of this foundation. So I'm just going to stipple this foundation all over my face using the Beauty Blender. Another good foundation that you can use for an alternative for the Too Faced foundation is the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. This foundation is amazing. I am in the color 106, 107, depending on how my tan is. But this stuff is amazing. It leaves my skin super, super matte. But again, I have really oily skin, so sometimes my oil will break through that matteness and give it like a dewy finish. So this is definitely a good alternative for this higher end foundation. Now that we have applied our foundation, I'm just going to go in with concealer to highlight my face. For concealer, I'm going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I am in the color NC20. Some good drugstore alternatives would definitely be the LA Girl Pro Conceal and the Maybelline Master Concealer as well. Both of these guys are amazing. So the concealer that I have under my eyes is the MAC Pro Longwear. I apply this very close to the sides of my nose because I want to give my nose that slimmer effect. And the reason that I pull it up above the end of my eye is so that it gives my cheeks it's basically making me look like I have a higher cheekbone. And then I have used the Urban Decay Naked Skin in the color Medium Light Neutral on the center of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on the center of my chin. And then I am taking the opposite side of the Beauty Blender that I have not yet used, and I'm going to blend this all out. To highlight the under eye area just a little bit more, I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal. And I'm taking the smallest bit and I'm putting it right underneath my eyes. This is basically the area that gets the darkest in my under eye area. So we have a hollow right here on the underneath of our eyes. Some are deeper than others. Mine is a lot deeper than some others. So usually in photos, if I'm not in the right angle, if I'm not positioned the right way, I will usually have a shadow right here just because that's where the deepest part of my hollow is. And then I'm just taking my Beauty Blender and I'm very lightly going to blend that in. If you blend it too much, it defeats the purpose of ever doing that extra highlight. I'm using the Mercier Translucent Powder. Now very gently, I'm going to tap this everywhere that I highlighted. So I'm just going to step that aside. I usually will now do my brows and then I will go back and I will wipe everything else off. So I'm going to go ahead and do my brows and I'll be right back. I've let myself bake for about 5 to 10 minutes, I want to say. I just went in and filled in my brows. I am taking this Real Techniques brush. I believe this brush is from the Gold series and this is the 300 brush. And I'm very gently going to wipe off all of the excess. So I did go ahead and remove all of the extra translucent powder off of my face, but then I went back and I did my eye makeup. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is the contouring part, and I have a couple of options for you guys. Personally, I like to use this combo right here. It is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and it is also the Milani Bronzer. I like using the Milani Bronzer to bronze up my face a little bit, and then I will go in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I will basically give my cheeks and my forehead a little bit of a stronger contour. Some other things that you can also use are obviously the Anastasia Contour Kit. The only reason that I use my Kat Von D palette more than this one is because personally I just feel like the Kat Von D palette blends better, if that makes sense, especially the banana shade in this palette. It is amazing. It's so much more pigmented and creamy than the Anastasia Contour Kit. Some other things that you can also use to bronze up your face and that I'm a huge fan of is Victoria's Secret makeup. They have some amazing bronzers in their makeup line. This one right here is Goddess, and I'm a huge fan of this. I feel like it gives my skin a lot of sun, if that makes sense. It's very similar to the MAC Give Me Sun bronzer, so if you don't want to spend as much money on that one, this one is a great dupe for it. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is taking my Milani bronzer. This is in the color 03 Radiant Tan, and I will be taking that on this Morphe brush right here. Again, I apologize, I don't know what the names to these brushes are. I'm going to start with my cheekbones, and I have a very light hand as I'm doing this. This part right here doesn't need to be too precise just because you aren't contouring. You're just giving your skin a bronze. And as I apply this color, as you can tell, I just like to go in and blend it. I also like to take this same color on my chin, and then I'll drag this color down onto my neck just to make everything blend a little bit nicer. If you have a smaller forehead, what I would recommend doing is only bronzing and contouring your temples and your cheekbones. If you have a very, very, very defined chin, you might not need to go in and define your chin even more. Next, I am taking my MAC 190 brush, and I'm taking my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to be dipping this brush into Shadow Play and Subconscious. To contour my nose, I'm going to be using the middle color on the Anastasia Contour Kit. So I very lightly dipped the side of my brush into that color. And then what I'm doing is I'm starting at the beginning of my brow, and I'm taking that line down to the tip of my nose. You don't want to start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. You want one straight line down. On a blending brush, this is kind of like a pencil brush. I'm going to go in and blend out these lines. You want to be very careful where you take this product. You want to try to leave it where it is so that you're actually contouring, because if you take it in different places, it's not going to look like you achieved that contoured look. You don't want to blend upward, you want to blend downward, because that's where you're giving the shadow effect. And then the line that we have right here, the reason that I put it there is because the tip of my nose is a little bit wider than I'd like it to be. So by me putting that line at the top right here, it's basically cutting my nose so that when I highlight the tip of my nose, it's basically going to make my nose look a lot slim and pointier at the end than it being round and fat, I guess. Because I feel like my nose is fat. Once you are all done blending, you're just going to take your Real Techniques Beauty Blender and blend your nose a little bit more. So now that I have my nose blended, what I'm going to do with the accent of this Laura Mercier product, I'm just creating a straight line on the bridge of my nose. So now that our nose is all done, we want to go ahead and define our cheek contour just a little bit more. I'm going to go in and highlight the rest of my face. My absolute favorite highlighter is Becca Opal. I completely love this highlighter. This is a Morphe foundation brush. Personally, I like to use a foundation brush to highlight just because I feel like I have a lot more control of where my product is going. Before I do this, I just want to take the excess off of my nose. And I'm going to highlight the highest point of my cheekbone. With the excess, I'm going to highlight the center of my forehead. And I'm taking some more excess on the bridge of my nose. I'm taking a little bit of product on the tip of my nose. So like I said, you can just tell that my nose looks a lot slimmer than it did earlier. Next, I'm taking the product off of my cheeks. And as I'm doing this, I'm also going to blend at the same time. Taking my foundation brush one more time with the Becca Opal highlight on it. I'm not dipping it into more product. I just want to take the excess and put it on the center of my chin. Last but not least, I'm taking a very fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend my face. So this is the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys would like to see this eye look, please leave a thumbs up and I would love to do that for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my highlight and contour video. Thanks, guys.